You have seen our game-by-game predictions for every ACC team. Now it is time to recap it all with our 2019 ACC projected standings. We will kick things off with the Atlantic Division, where of course it is no surprise that we have Clemson winning that division with a perfect 12-0 record and a perfect 8-0 in ACC Conference play. Clemson is by far the best team in the entire ACC, and say what you want about their defense, but Dabo Swinney continues to restock that defense. He doesn't rebuild, he restocks, much like Nick Saban does over at Alabama. The offense will be just fine, led by Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, and arguably the best wide receiver corps in the entire nation. People are concerned about the defense, but some people are outrageously saying they could lose 2, maybe 3 games. That's not going to happen. I believe Clemson runs the table, finishes undefeated in the regular season. Right below them, we have Syracuse, who arguably is the biggest competitor to Clemson in the entire ACC. And Syracuse does own the benefit of hosting Clemson in the Carrier Dome in Week 3. If any team is going to beat them in the ACC, I truly believe it will be the Syracuse Orange. We have them coming in at 9-3, a 6-2 record in ACC Conference play. And once again proving that what happened in 2018, that 10-win season, was not a fluke. Dino Babers is building something here, and I truly believe Syracuse is going to be legit once again in the ACC. Tommy DeVito at quarterback, a strong defense that no one's talking about. And they're not a sleeper in the ACC this year, but I do think people are going to try to disregard them. Florida State coming in at third, 8-4, 5-3 in conference. Last year they went 5-7. It was a horrible year for the Seminoles. Major turnaround in 2019 and year 2 under Willie Taggart. Expect the offense to be a lot better. If the offensive line can stay healthy, they can protect Justin Blackman. They can protect Cam Akers, open up some holes for him and to get some big-time yardage there. And the defense, once again, kind of like I mentioned with Syracuse, is something that I don't think a lot of people are talking about, but can be scary good in 2019. I expect Florida State to have one of the biggest turnarounds in 2019. They finished third in the Atlantic with an 8-4 record. You have a tie here between NC State and Wake Forest, at least in overall record, both going 7-5. NC State owning the slight edge with a 4-4 record in conference play, even though Wake Forest, I have projected them to beat the Wolfpack in the regular season. But both of them finishing 7-5 will earn decent bowl berths in 2019. Boston College coming in second to last. Nothing to frown about, though, finishing 6-6, although they could once again keep the curse going of the seasons of just 7-win seasons. I think they still make it 6 of the past 7 if they go 6-6 and win their bowl game. So the Eagles certainly continuing to thrive or continue to do well under Steve Addazio, but not being able to get over the hump. Many could see this as a disappointing year considering the amount of talent they bring back on the offensive side of the ball, but that second half of the schedule for Boston College is absolutely brutal. So a 6-6 record, a 3-5 record overall in conference, and a brand new head coach in Scott Satterfield at Louisville. He does not do too hot in his first year with the Cardinals, going 2-10, 0-8 in the ACC, winless in his first year there. People will think that's outrageous, but considering how bad Louisville was last year, considering the change they're going to have to go through in 2019, I just don't see Louisville being that much more competitive in the win column. The scores will be much more competitive compared to what they were last year, but you won't see a big of a change in the win column in 2019. Coming over to the Coastal Division, this is the one that I think a lot of people care about. Everybody knows Clemson should win the Atlantic Division. It's almost a guarantee. The Coastal, though, is wide open for the taking, especially between the top 3 teams in Miami, Virginia, and Virginia Tech. And we have the Hurricanes winning the Coastal Division with a 10-2 record, 7-1 overall. And this is one where we have a legit tie. Miami and Virginia both going 10-2 and a 7-1 record in conference, but Miami gets the liberty of hosting the Cavaliers in Miami. And that is how big I think home field advantage plays in determining who wins the Coastal Division. Miami gets to host Virginia. I think they defeat Virginia, which will therefore give them the tiebreaker over the Cavaliers, which will send Miami to the ACC title game. Many believe this is a year that Virginia can do it, and there's no doubt in my mind that if Virginia was hosting the Hurricanes, I would be picking Virginia in that game, and the Cavaliers would be going to the ACC title game. But I think home field advantage plays a huge role. Miami, like Florida State, has one of the biggest turnarounds in 2019. Tate Martell and Dan Eno is going to be a dynamic duo there as offensive coordinator and quarterback, and the defense will remain strong, of course, under Manny Diaz. Miami wins the Coastal. Right behind them is Virginia, who could be in the hunt for a New Year's Six bowl game with that 10-2 record. Followed closely behind there with their rival in Virginia Tech, who I'd finally have losing to Virginia, snapping their 15-game winning streak over the Cavaliers. We had them at 9-3, 6-2 in the ACC. Once again, a major turnaround for them after having a losing record last year, their first since 1992. Justin Fuente and Bud Foster take a very experienced team in 2019, get them to 9 wins and possibly 10 wins with the bowl victory. And then you see a drastic drop-off there. Those are your 3 legitimate competitors in the Coastal. After that, you see Duke, who is 4 games behind Virginia Tech. We had them at 5-7, 2-6 in conference play. Duke and David Cutcliffe are a team that can always shock you. I had them at 5-7. It's very possible Duke could win 6 or 7 games to get to a bowl game. There's no doubt in my mind they can do that. It's just they lose so much on the offensive side of the ball. I do have faith in Quentin Harris, but not enough to get him there. I've said it over and over. Duke is borderline bowl eligible. There's a chance they could be 6-6. Regardless, I think they finish 4th in the ACC Coastal. Followed behind with Georgia Tech. People don't think that's going to happen. People think that maybe UNC, North Carolina, should be here where Georgia Tech is, and Georgia Tech should be at the bottom. But I'm here to tell you that I think Jeff Collins comes in here and shocks a lot of people with his new pro-style offense that he's bringing to Georgia Tech. And I think the Yellow Jackets go 5-7 and 2-6 in ACC play. And 5-7 would be a phenomenal year in year one with the drastic change that Jeff Collins is bringing in, dealing with a group of players that came to Atlanta to run the option, not a pro-style offense. 5-7 and 1 upset away from making a bowl game would be phenomenal for year one with Jeff Collins, and year 2 would be much better. We have Pittsburgh coming in at 4-8. A lot of people will disagree with that, but Pittsburgh's schedule is extremely difficult. They lose their top 2 1,000-yard rushers in Quadre Olison and Darren Hall. Kenny Pickett is not one of the best quarterbacks in the ACC. I don't even know if he might be the right man for the job. He's experienced, but he's just a mediocre quarterback. The defense will be the strength for Pittsburgh. Their schedule doesn't do them any favors. Like David Cutcliffe, Pat Narduzzi has been prone to pulling off some surprises and playing well towards the end of the season. But I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think Pittsburgh disappoints and goes 4-8 and 2-6 in conference play, much like Duke and Georgia Tech. And like Louisville, we have North Carolina finishing 2-10, 0-8 in ACC conference play. A disappointing year for Matt Brown as he makes his return to North Carolina, but expect bigger things in year 2. I just don't think that North Carolina, even though they were competitive last year, even though they dealt with so many injuries, that they're going to be that much more competitive and see a big, drastic change in 2019. But I think Louisville and North Carolina both could make big strides in 2020. And as we mentioned, our ACC title game will be Clemson versus Miami, as it was just a few years ago when Miami was still relevant and still in the college football playoff hunt. Clemson, Miami, of course, we are picking Clemson in this game. I do think that Manny Diaz is bringing the swagger back to Miami, and I do think they will hang with Clemson, at least for a little bit. I don't expect this to be a blowout, much like it was a few years ago. At least it's not as big of a blowout. Miami's defense will give Trevor Lawrence some trouble early on, but in the end, Clemson wins yet another ACC title, finishes the season 13-0, will make the college football playoff, and then we will see what happens from there and to see if Clemson can repeat as 15-0 national champions. But we do have Clemson winning the ACC over the Miami Hurricanes. These are your projected ACC standings for the 2019 season. We want to hear from you guys. Go check out our other videos, your game-by-game predictions for every single ACC team, and share your projected conference standings with us below. So guys, as always, thank you for watching us here. Go check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Gridiron Expert. Go check us out on our website, thegridironexpert.com. The link is in the description below. Go sign up for our newsletter. Go check out our videos and sign up for our expert picks. If you love college football, you do not want to miss out on these expert picks. One $30 fee will get you every single one of our college football spread picks for the 2019 season. And yes, that does include the postseason. It is a deal and an opportunity that you cannot pass up if you are a college football fan. So go join the countless others. Sign up today and join our team. And guys, as always, thank you for watching us here on YouTube. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time here on The Gridiron Expert.